Have you ever wondered why, even when you try to act sensible with money, even after extra hours and pay bumps, payday still feels like a gasp of air before the next dive underwater? 78% of Americans ride that same wave from paycheck to paycheck, and almost half of people who earn more than 100 grand a year are right beside them. Headlines blame inflation, taxes, greedy bosses, broken systems. Yet millions quietly break free every year. How? They lift 11 invisible anchors that most people keep tied to their ankles. Listen closely. Change just one of these habits and your future shifts. Change them all, and the life you know today will feel like a story someone else once told you. Ignore them, and nothing will move. Ever. And you will notice it, especially with the 8th habit, which if you change today, you will see the first results in less than a week. Habit 1. Paying for status instead of substance. A badge on a car grille, a tiny logo stitched on a pocket, the latest phone glowing on a cafe table. All seem to promise respect, but status buys vanish the moment another model appears. Wealthy minds treat signals like empty calories, sweet for a second, harmful in the long run. Each time you feel the itch to signal, pause and imagine that same cash sent to work in an index fund or a small side venture. The signal fades, the asset compounds. Choose the one that grows while you sleep, and the crowd will end up signaling to you. Habit 2. Letting lifestyle rise with every raise. Your friend upgrades flights, so you upgrade. Your coworker shows off a renovated kitchen, so you call a contractor. This is financial quicksand disguised as progress. The wealthy lock new income behind a mental firewall. They tell every fresh dollar where to march, toward investment, debt elimination, or time-saving systems, before it tempts them with shinier toys. Next time a raise lands, pretend the deposit shrank by half. Channel the hidden half into growth, and watch how calm replaces stress. Habit 3. Financing wants with easy debt. Buy now, pay later apps, zero-down car deals, rewards cards dangling miles like candy. All whisper that tomorrow's you will handle the bill. But tomorrow's you will wake to late fees, double-digit interest, and the same temptations. Rich thinkers reverse the script. They borrow only to buy assets that throw off cash flows larger than the payment. Everything else waits until cash is in hand. If you cannot buy it outright, you cannot afford it yet. Simple, strict, liberating. Habit 4. Paying yourself last. Most workers play financial musical chairs, bills, meals, scroll-induced purchases, then a frantic hope that a chair remains for saving. Often it does not. Flip the order. The instant money touches your account, skim off a percentage, 5, 10, 20, into a separate vault you do not touch. Automate the transfer so discipline is not required. Live on the remainder. Within months you will feel the ground steady beneath you, and opportunities will start appearing, because you finally have the means to grab them. Habit 5. Treating minimum payments as progress. Credit card companies love customers who worship the minimum. Paying the floor keeps accounts in good standing, while balances swell like weeds. Wealth builders treat consumer debt as a kitchen fire. Suffocate it fast before it devours the house. List balances, attack the smallest or the highest interest first. Either method works if you stay relentless, and free the income that interest now steals. Every dollar no longer lost to banks becomes a brick in your freedom wall. Habit 6. Flying blind without a map. If I asked right now how much you spent last week, could you answer within $10? Most cannot. What is measured improves, what is ignored decays. Pick a simple tool, spreadsheet, notebook, free app, and tag every expense for 30 days. The act alone changes behaviour. Patterns appear, subscriptions you forgot, snacks that add up, impulse clicks after midnight. Awareness turns leaks into choices, and choices turn into cash retained. Habit 7. Buying consumables instead of assets. A depreciating gadget feels exciting for a month. An appreciating share of a company feels boring for years, until it quietly pays for your future gadget and more. The wealthy train their eyes to ask, will this put money in my pocket or take it out? Groceries and shelter take money out but sustain life. Everything else faces the test. If it fails, redirect funds toward anything that earns. Peer-to-peer loans, farmland REITs, high-yield savings, your own skill expansion. Assets first, pleasures later, often funded by the assets themselves. Habit 8. Leaning on a single paycheck. One stream dries up and the whole garden wilts. Rich households plant many streams. A main job plus rental income, royalty checks, dividend harvests, a digital course, a weekend service gig grown from a hobby. Start small. Use skills you already have to solve a problem for one person online, then 2, then 10. Every new flow, however tiny, reduces fear and multiplies resilience. Habit 9. Donating extra cash to the tax man. The code is a maze. Yes, but it is a maze with printed answers. Retirement plans, health savings accounts, business deductions, education credits, all legal, all underused by people who think strategy is only for the ultra-rich. Spend an evening reading IRS plain language guides or hire a pro for an hour. One clever adjustment can save more than a month's wages every single year. That reclaimed money can snowball into investment capital instead of disappearing into the void. Habit 10. Letting impulses drive the cart. Scrolling late at night spawns flash sales, limited edition drops, and free trials that morph into monthly drains. Algorithms do not sleep, so your defense is friction. Delete stored card numbers, turn off one-click buys, set a 48-hour rule for anything non-essential. During the wait, imagine the item sitting in a shopping cart made of your future hours at work. Is the trade still worth it? Most desires fade under the light of time. The ones that endure become deliberate purchases instead of automatic leaks. Habit 11. Blaming forces beyond your control. Yes, economies swing, politicians argue, and wages sometimes stall. Yet blaming the storm never moves the ship. The wealthy adopt radical ownership. Whatever happens, they ask, what can I adjust? They upgrade skills when industries shift, relocate if taxes bite too deep, build networks instead of nursing grudges. Victim stories feel comforting for a moment. Ownership stories forge paths out of chaos. Choose the narrative that hands you the steering wheel. Picture this. You have severed these 11 anchors. Your money stays instead of straying. Your debts shrink, then vanish. Multiple income currents feed an emergency fund that keeps growing, then overflow into investments that spin off dividends larger than old bills. Tax season turns into a win, not a wound. The urge to impress quiets because your confidence no longer needs costumes. And freedom, the real kind, measured in options and mornings spent as you wish, becomes normal. Now picture the alternative. The habits remain. Status payments rise with every advertisement you scroll past. Debts swell in silence. Your single paycheck coughs once, and the house of cards shudders. Retirement drifts farther each year until it disappears behind the horizon. The choice sits in your hands tonight, as tangible as the device you are holding. 11 habits to release, 1 decision to begin. Here it is, a starter plan. Pick 1 habit and uproot it before the day ends. Cancel a forgotten subscription. Automate a 10% transfer. Write down every dollar you spend until next Friday. Small moves ignite momentum. Momentum bends reality. Your future self is already waiting, either shackled or soaring, depending on what you do once this sentence ends. Choose wisely, and I will see you on the other side of scarcity, where paychecks are seeds, not lifelines, and money finally serves you instead of ruling you. And another habit you could start right away is liking these videos so you can learn more and more about how to manage and make money. Or, even better, you can subscribe to this channel to always get new tips to blow up your bank account. Let me know your plan of action in the comments, and I'll see you soon.